years old. I've been dancing for a really long time. I'm also a contortionist and aerialist and circus artist. Contortion is just the art of extreme bending and pushing your body to crazy limits. Contortion-wise, I've actually never been called anything negative. Like, a lot of people have been coming up to me and saying, like, oh my gosh, it's so beautiful, like, it's so great what you do, and that makes me feel so good, especially growing up with some sort of, like, you know, everyone's got their own issues and insecurities, so that is always nice to hear. I have little cousins and I teach little kids, and I just feel like every year they're younger and younger when they start talking about fat and skinny and what a body should look like. And it's so sad that they're so young and they're worried about stuff like that. Like, I went through life, I was dancing, I was a competition dancer. You know, as a kid, I wasn't the healthiest. I had McDonald's once a week. Like, I was, you know, being a kid, and a majority of the girls came from ballet backgrounds where, of course, there's a specific body type. But so that was kind of the first time I was exposed to, like, the real world of dance and, like, what bodies are expected to look like. And I was not fat. I, like, was a normal-sized child, but I continued my, like, poor eating habits as puberty set in, and I gained a little bit of weight in high school, and I struggled with that for a long time. You know, I knew I couldn't make myself taller. That's not something I have control of. So I was like, great, well, you know, I can make myself thinner. You know, there were times I've, like, gone 24 hours without eating, but then I've always snapped back. And I'm like, that's not a good thing to do. And I've had close friends. I mean, like, my best friend in college struggled with an eating disorder. So it's easier than you think to slip into that. And then my senior year, I was like, this is silly. Like, I don't want this to bother me. I started going to the gym more. Like, I worked out with my older cousins. They were super supportive. And I learned the balance. I was like, great, you can have a piece of cake every now and then and eat healthy and exercise. You can live life and be happy and healthy and have a body that you're happy with. And I lost weight and I was in shape and I loved it and I had a great senior year. Because body image was just always something I was thinking about, because it was always on my mind, I feel like it made it worse. So I was, like, always thinking about what I was eating, and then so I would eat and then be depressed about it. It was just a very vicious cycle, and I think now there's always work to do, but I think at some point you need to acknowledge your body is what it is. Your body wants to be where it wants to be, and if you're talented at what you do, it doesn't matter what you look like, and I think that's how it should be, and it's starting to happen. And I think the best thing you could tell people is just, and it's hard to follow this advice, but not to care what other people think, and if you love something, then you do it, and you enjoy it, and don't care what other people say. Product of months of work and stress and no sleep, and then people stood up to clap. Like, it was the best feeling. I will never forget that feeling.